crooked. I want to be crooked. It ain't necessarily so. It ain't necessarily so. The things that you're liable to read in the Bible, it ain't necessarily so. Little David was small, but oh my. Little David was small, but oh my. He fought big Goliath, who lay low and died. Little David was small, but oh my. And a little interlude. Jonah, he lived in the whale. Oh, Jonah, he lived in the whale. For he made his home in that fish's abdomen. Oh, Jonah, he lived in the whale. Moses was found in the stream. Little Moses was found in a stream. He floated on water till old Pharaoh's daughter, she fished him, she says, from that stream. And now to the big finish. I'm preaching this sermon to show it ain't necessarily so. I want to try that big finish again. I'm preaching this sermon to show it ain't necessarily so. Okay, good evening, howdy, Alton, hey, Richard. That's Porgy and Bess by Gershwin. Lyrics by Dubose Hayward and Ira Gershwin. Music by George Gershwin. Libretto by Dubose Hayward. 1935. Yeah. 1935. Hey, McJet, nice to see you. Thanks for catching a live show. The show's here every night at 9 on the East Coast of the United States, and at 3 a.m. in Stockholm, Sweden, if you happen to be there. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining me. This is the No-Show. It happens every night, and we have a little bit of a, for any of the OCD. There we go. Oh, there we go. Now it's level. Whew. What a relief. Hello, if you're watching on Instagram or wherever you're watching. Thanks for joining. It's raining all over the world. Yes, it is. What's up, Dave? What's up, Donald? Dawn, hello. Alton. Okay. We're all caught up. So the No-Show happens every single night, 7 nights a week. There's some talk, there's some singing, there's some debating. We'll debate, we'll consider each other's opinions, and in the end I will make the final decision. No, there's not really any debating on this show. You know those shows that appeared, those round table debate shows? I guess the McLaughlin group. That shouldn't, oh, you shouldn't worry. Thanks, Warren. The McLaughlin group. That was when they started screaming at each other 30 years ago on TV. Unfortunate. It didn't help matters. Didn't help matters, but it gets people coming back. I had a costume fitting this morning for a job next week where I play this guy who's got he's kind of a real estate guy. So that was fun. It's a suit, and then they're gonna have to dirty up the suit because he's a bit of a schlub. What happens at the Mo Show? Just talk? Oh, good question. Yeah, so the Mo Show, after the No Show, I go onto Instagram Live for a little more. It's whatever we want it to be. It's just a little more show after the No Show. If there are any loose ends, I don't know what it is. It's just big change tonight on the show. You can see my name is capitalized. I put a capital E. On the previous shows, I had lowercase e's. So, that's kind of a big deal. You'll agree. I think you'll agree. I'm wearing a t-shirt, the Iron Man t-shirt from 10 years ago when I did the Iron Man. And I wouldn't wear it. I don't, don't want to be a braggart or whatever. But I feel like there's some middle ground between being a braggart and being. I just thought, you know what? I want to be proud of the things I've done and I've accomplished. So that's something I accomplished that I'm proud of. 10 years ago, I did one of those long triathlons. I shan't be doing it again. But I'm glad I did it. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, Leslie. Wait, Lehrer passed today. Warren says Lehrer passed today. Lehrer who? I'm curious who that is. Whoever it is, that's not good news. So I did that costume fitting, and so there's a line, a lot of times in these shows they'll give you what to say in English, but if your character happens to speak another language, sometimes the people who write the script, they're just like, they'll say something like, oh, and then he says something in another language. So then it's up to you to kind of write that or improvise that. In this case, there was there's just a line. It's written in English, but then a single Yiddish word is thrown in. And I had this sense that it's not quite right. I mean, I know the word isn't wrong, but it's sort of a mistranslation when it comes to like colloquial English. So I asked around in my neighborhood. I have a lot of Yiddish speaking people that I run into. And I asked a few of them today, and I got a nice extra translation from one of them for the word. The word is shanda, which is in the script, which means a shame, but it means a shame in the sense of like a disgrace or like a real shame. Like you've brought shame on the family. You've brought disgrace, vergogna in Italian, or like a vergüenza in Spanish, like shame. But what they meant here is like, oh, it's a shame. It's too bad. Like, I'm sorry, it's too bad. So I was asking these guys, and finally in Trader Joe's, I met this nice young couple, and they translated it for me. I was thinking, like, what's the oh, too bad? Like in Spanish, they say que lástima, like too bad, or in Italian, they say peccato, like which literally means like it's a sin, I think, but it's like, oh, it's too bad. So they couldn't think of it, but then they came up with it. They came up with it, which was a darachfal, which means it fell through, basically. It fell through, like it's a flop, it's a failure, it didn't work out, it fell through. So that's what I'm suggesting. Leslie asks, uh-oh, did you correct the writer? No, I did not correct the writer. I simply pointed out that I don't think that that's what they were going for. And so I suggested a change. Oh, Jim Lehrer. Oh, that's sad. The McNeil Lehrer. Yeah, that was a very civilized show. McNeil and Lehrer. Kind of the Cellino and Barnes of the journalism world. Cellino and Barnes. Now I see Cellino alone on his. When you see Cellino alone on the side of the highway on a billboard, it's so sad. I feel like he's bereft of Barnes. Leslie, are you saying it's the same thing to suggest a change that is the same as correcting? I strenuously disagree. You want things to be correct if you're the one speaking the lines. I strenuously disagree. Yes, Yiddish. Oh, Jim Leah. So rest in peace. If that news is correct, rest in peace. That's right, Mobius. So yeah, lastima or peccato. It's quel dommage in French for sure. Too bad. Yeah, that word Chandra is very loaded with all sorts of heavy baggage. I don't think this is a heavy baggage moment, but I'll ask him. I wanted to just so I spent a lot of time today thinking, what am I gonna sing tonight? It took a while for me to land on it. I had hours and hours after my costume fitting, and I was just getting out old music in a bunch of different languages and looking at all kinds of stuff. There's a lot of great stuff. People who have sent me suggestions, thank you so much for sending me suggestions of things I should sing. I am going through those, and I am going to get to them. I love it. Richard asked for Raindrops. I think Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. I think he asked for that, so I'm going to do that. But I was looking at all kinds of stuff, and one of my favorite songs that I sang in concert like more than 20 years ago, I sang this song in Russian, which is it's a Pushkin poem, it turns out. It's Pushkin. It's from, I think it's 1839, this poem. It's called I Loved You. So I want to just say these lyrics. What's interesting is that it's a 200-year-old song, and it's a 200-year-old song, a 200-year-old poem, almost, and it's a beautiful sentiment. And I think it's and then I'll give it a whirl. I don't know if I'll sing it tonight, but I want to just be able to play it on the ukulele. So I'm going to need to transpose it into a place I can do it. But so in English, it's I loved you. Love is still, perhaps. In other words, my love for you is still perhaps. I loved you. Love is still, perhaps. My soul has not completely died out. But don't let it bother you anymore. I don't want to make you sad. I don't want to make you sad in any way. So that's stanza one. It's a very short poem. Again, this is 200 years old. It's really one of, I think, Pushkin's most popular poems. I loved you. Love is still, or love endures. My love endures, perhaps. My soul hasn't completely died out. But don't let it bother you anymore. I don't want to make you sad in any way. Like, I don't want to make you sad that I still kind of love you. That's the beginning of the poem. And then stanza two, I loved you silently, hopelessly. Now we are tormented by timidity, now by jealousy. I loved you so sincerely, so tenderly. How? God grant that your beloved be different. I think it's now. It's kind of how, but it's so may God, like God willing, may your beloved, the person you ended up with, be different than I was. So he's saying, I loved you silently, hopelessly. tormented by timidity, now by jealousy. It sounds like this guy who wrote the poem was loving silently, like wasn't really acting on it. I loved you so sincerely, so tenderly. May God grant that your beloved be different than I was. It's a love poem of regret. It seems to be, it was an unrequited love. Anyway, it's just a gorgeous song. So я вас любил, любовь еще, быть может, в душе моей угасла не совсем. Но пусть вас больше не тревожит. Я не хочу печалить вас ничем. Я не хочу печалит вас ничем. Anyway, that's the first stanza. I'll do it when I know how to play the chords. The composer's name Dargamushki. Here, I'll show you the. Я не хочу, я вас любил. You can see it's printed 1990. So this is like right at the end of. It's printed in Moscow in 1990. So it's right at the end of the communist reign. So the paper is still like, the paper is this really chintzy, like almost cardboardy. So something jazzy. Yes, I agree. So on the subject of like a request box, what did you call that? Never on a Sunday. Okay, never on a Sunday. I will do it, Donald. Even without the bribe, I will do it. Do me a favor, if you would, please email me your song suggestions. I don't know what's going on. I'm still not. Sometimes, like this chat, it disappears. I haven't been able to figure that out. I thought I set that up with YouTube. I need a tutorial. But the chat, the comments kind of disappear sometimes. So email me, ehbass@gmail.com. ehbass@gmail.com. That's ehbass@gmail.com. And email me any song suggestions or any other suggestions for the show. Love to take your suggestions. Yeah, I'd love to do something jazzy. Hey, big spender. Jesus, my big hairy finger just. Sorry about that. The dirge. Yes, it's a dirge. It's kind of a dirge. Oh, Winterizer is definitely in my repertoire. In fact, it's my favorite song cycle. Jeffrey, thank you for asking. The Winter Journey by Schubert. It's my favorite song cycle. It's the first songs I learned in German. On the River is one of those. Oh, that's a good idea, On the River, because I'm going to do a shoot. I'm going to do like a promo shoot for this show to try to continue to try to grow the audience. And so on Monday with my friend Jordan, we're going to do a shoot down by the river, and we were looking for songs that would be thematically connected. So I have a few river songs, but that's just a great idea. You mentioned the Winterizer. That's a 200-year-old thingamajig by Schubert, and that's a beautiful song, the one about the river. It's like 24 songs about a guy. It's also about unrequited love and all that. Is the email in the description? I'll check. Oh, Donald, I don't think the email's in there, but please, it's EH, that's my initials, EH, and then bass like the fish or bass like the instrument, ehbass@gmail.com. Hey, Saul, what's up? Shalom Aleichem. Good Shabbos. Masa al Khair. You don't know me. If you don't know me by now. Oh no, it's a different you don't know me, I think. But yeah, please send me all your song suggestions. I'm going to sing now the song that got me my very first professional singing gig. It was 30 years ago at a in an audition studio on Lafayette Street here in New York. I went to an open call and got a summer stock job. I sang the only there's an old man called the Mississippi. That's the old man that I'd like to be. What does he care if the world's got troubles? What does he care if the land ain't free? Oh, that's too low. That's an octave below where I want to sing. There's an old man called the Mississippi. That's the old man that I'd like to be. What does he care if the world's got troubles? What does he care if the land ain't free? Old man river, that old man river, he must know something, but he don't say nothing. He just keeps rolling, he keeps on rolling along. He don't plant taters and he don't plant cotton, and them that plants 'em is soon forgotten. But old man the river, he just keeps rolling along. All right, well, I ran out of Old Man River steam. I was reminded of that because of the Gershwin, the Porgy and Bess. Because the reason I knew that Porgy and Bess was Paul Robeson, and of course Paul Robeson is known for many things, but that Old Man River, he's really associated with that. All right, maybe I'll get back. I got to get the steam back and finish up Old Man River. Where does the time go, people? Where does the time go? You and me, we sweat and strain, body all aching and racked with pain. Turn the page. Tote that barge and lift that bale, get a little drunk, and you land in jail. I get weary and sick of trying. I'm tired of living and scared of dying. But old man river, it just keeps rolling along. There it is. He keeps on rolling along. What is that song about? It's about a lot of things, but it's about struggle. It's about life being really difficult. And I guess it's the singer of the song looks at the river and takes some comfort or inspiration or resignation. Things are difficult. The river just keeps going. He wants to stop. He wants to give up, this character, Joe. But it's a song of endurance. That's what it is. It's a song of endurance. against cruelty, against the cruelty of work. Uh, can you hear the siren? Yeah, it's a lament. Yes, Mom, it is a lament. But there's a toughness to it. There's a grit. It's a lament plus grit. Um, the river is life. We watch it go by. Yes, Richard. That's it. We put our feet in it. We can take a swim in it. We can get swept away by it. We can be inspired by it. Rolling on a river. There is a river. Oh, is that another song, Mobius? Again, please email me your ideas. Your ideas. Um, I was looking at all these Yiddish songs today. I found, I have a bunch of books. I have some new Yiddish song books like that just arrived from someone who gave them to me. And oh, Jeffrey makes a good point. It's not just any river; it's the Mississippi. It's the mighty Mississippi. So that's right. And also, it's about slavery. It's about the the cruel and dehumanizing history of our country. It's about bondage. Oh, okay. It's a book, Mobius. It's a book. There is a river. Okay, I will look that up. Um, yeah. So I was looking at all these Yiddish songs. There's some really good ones. There's some lullabies. They're simple melodically, and but the language. I just love the sound of the language, and so I'm going to work those up. But I don't want to just splat them out there with no prep. They're in the minor mode. They're lament. They have a lamenty quality. Even the la da dee da 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 dee da da ya da dee da da. Hey Myra and hey Mila. Um, you're late again, but not too late. No, you're not late. There's no late. It lives eternally on YouTube. You can come and watch live, or you can watch it anytime, and then you can pop onto the Mo Show on Instagram Live right after this. It's funny. I did get out if I was a rich man, like that sheet music. So, at my 25th college reunion a number of years ago, I got to sing "If I Were a Rich Man" with the Boston Pops in is it called Symphony Hall at Boston? Mom, you were there. That was a fun night. Um, so I had that sheet music. That was just a great moment. And I got to sing something from South Pacific. This nearly was mine. I decided not to do Some Enchanted Evening. This nearly was mine. Um, so yeah, I was looking at that today. That was my paternal grandfather's favorite song, If I Were a Rich Man. I thought, I didn't feel like quite getting into that with um, Bigga digga 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 dum. Oh, digga digga dum. It's a little bit like a Dean Martin doing If I Were a Rich Man. Oh, thank you, Richard. Your cat enjoys my show. Wow, I wish I had like a song that was cat thematically linked. Oh, The Year of the Cat by Al Stewart. I gotta The Year of the Cat. Ba bee ba 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 bee ba ba ba. Donald asks, ever write your own music? As a little kid, I would write little tunes on the school bus. I remember that. So do have a songwriting bug somewhere dormant. I'm going to try to get that going. Yeah, The Year of the Cat, Al Stewart, which was on the flip side of the 45 of Time Passages, I think. Time Passages, which is a great song. I got to do that song. Time Passages was a favorite of mine as a kid in like 77. Um, Never let her go. Some enchanted evening. All right. Yeah, we'll do that another night. I feel like there was something else I wanted to talk about. I was talking about that the other day, how like if you have a cell for a comic strip, you got room for the words and room for the image. So you got on my show, I got the music and I got the talk. And I feel like tonight it was all music, and I want to do a little more talk. Oh, the Ballad of Easy Rider. Interesting. Okay, I got to look at that also. Da da dee da da, always. La da dee da da. Oh, that's a good song. Some trails are happy ones. Others are blue. It's the way you ride the trail that counts. Here's a happy one for you. Happy trails to you. I need a horse for that one. Until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Sing a song in the sunny weather. Happy trails to you. Till we meet again. Ozzy. All right. We went from cats to horses. I don't know. Any other a pair of coconuts would work. All right. Hello, you must be going. Okay, here we go. Ba 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 ba, always. Ba 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 at 9, always. Always, ba 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 ba, always. Yada dee da da ba ba. Yada dee da da, yada dee da da. I'll be here at 9, always. All right. Thanks, Leslie. Thanks for asking. If anyone needs to talk through anything heavy or deep or confounding, please get in touch with me. ehbase@gmail.com. Dr. Benjamin. Dr. Benjamin is he's always in. The doctor is always in. Today is now. And keep on smiling. All right. Wishing everybody a good night. And I'll see you. I'm going to go over right now to Instagram Live. Okay. Thank you for joining. And please share this with anybody who might enjoy it.